I was thinking about this last night because y'all remember my divorce date was 2/2/2009. 8 is the triangular number for 36, and 36 is a triangular number for 666. And 8, of course, was her marriage number. And her fiance, his next marriage progression is 36. And so let's look at this year's. Eight oh 88. That's this year's Groundhog Day. They call it, in their language, 888. They don't count zeros. I call it the 8 over the 88. In other words, her third marriage over her second marriage, or her marriage over her second marriage, which would be her third marriage. It overcomes it. This one's better than the last, so to speak. This year's Groundhog Day, 8088. No matter how you want to slice it, that's what it is. Let's see if Steven and Steven are in here on the comments. I won't have to grab them from the notifications. Steven and Christian. Steven and Christian. Okay, they're both there. Steven and Christian. Mary Carroll says, wow. If Mary's been following along, she's starting to wonder. She doesn't know what to think at this point. Now, Michael said Dr. Dre's new album is called Southpawers. Now, see, he ran his gematria while I was running mine. Check that out. That comes to First Horseman. And hey, Michael, check it out on the Jewish gematria. That's even it gives you First Horseman written in a different way. I'm sure you saw that from our previous video, though. So it's telling us, I mean, does it mean that he's going down anytime soon? I would assume so. I can't believe all of this is, but y'all, they could just be stretching us out. I mean, which is fine. That's another day for wife, kids, friends, family to be happy in this crazy earth. It's another day we don't have to worry about just surviving starvation and war and tsunamis. My spirit is ready. My flesh is absolutely not ready. I'm about to pop some caffeine and go to the gym. I mean, you know, the Lord's program allowed me to be programmed pretty well to enjoy this life. We all got our routine. Anyway, First Horseman 22 for Groundhog Day. Apocalypse Now. Look at that. St. Valentine. Scottish Rite, Super Bowl. Second 9/11. America Destroyed. Well, we were showing yesterday, Michael, in the most unbelievable way. It also, I mean, you just can't believe of everyone you stated. Egyptian sun ray gods. And let me pause and I won't waste your time with it. While we're here, we might as well go ahead on and, you know, show United Nations, Resurrection, Yellowstone. Everybody, all my friends love Yellowstone. They just go, oh my God, Yellowstone. 37, which of course is the 12th prime number. 12 is the church. And you remember 37's big number. In my world, that was Earl's number. iPet goat is 727 in length, and Earl's birthday was 727 in 1960. And his number was 37044, and you got the 144 for the church and won the 44, and you've got the 37. So, and of course, her fiance, same birthday, 7/27, 1967. And he's got the 3717. He's got Adam in his number. He's got my birthday in his number. There's a 717 that translates to 143. If you're clocking up to the number 9, if you're at 7 minutes, 17 seconds, you need 1 minute, 43 seconds to reach the number 9. Number 9 Dream, Love Potion number 9. John Lennon's song number 9 Dream, and the song Love Potion number 9. December 7th, God, Tree of Knowledge, Neil Armstrong, Denver Airport. It's got Trump featured on the Denver Airport, and of course Scottish Rite. I think it's the second go around in Jewish gematria. It's got the illness with the V word put together with the word crisis. Where is it? Hang on. And there's your Apocalypse Now and First Horseman, the Catholic Church. Sorry, I was rearranging those numbers because 257 came up. I believe it's on this one here where it says page 2. The day of revelation, because the book is getting opened. Hang on just a second. Well, it says page 3. It's actually the 4th run through, though. First Horseman of Revelation. First Horseman of Revelation in Jewish gematria to go along with the just plain First Horseman. So South Powers comes to First Horseman in English in simple gematria. And it comes to First Horse of Revelation in Jewish gematria. It's almost impossible, but the Ghost in the Machine is what runs, which it's what has that ability. You see that 553? I want to click that, don't I? I'm not going to click it. I'm going to show you that it's not OCD or spiritual or anything like that. Just not going to. I'm not going to click here anymore for y'all. I like to click it because, but I don't have to. Let me just put it like that. So, and Michael giving Christian Schultz the heart and thumbs up. So I am without even reading it, because anything Michael likes, I like. Let's finish Michael's. We haven't even finished Michael's. 22 Apocalypse Now, St. Valentine, Scottish Rite, Super Bowl 55, last year's Super Bowl. Why it might have that is The Weeknd performed last year. And The Weeknd, his birthday is the 16th. Now, Trump could go down on the 14th. And what do we like about the 14th? 31 months of January plus 14. Oh, it's the 45th day of the year. Yeah. The love day. And that's me and Candy's first two combined digits. because we're 455-000-6328. I mean, to me, the kicker would be if he went down, though, on the day we divorced, because that's when the 88 went down 16 years ago. No, we met 16 years ago. Tonight's our 16-year anniversary of first date. So it'll be 13 years. The good old number 13, which was my room number, Silver Sands Beach Resort. I'm sitting here looking at it. I was room 133. Like, it's got a 33 and a 13 in my room number. Daily rate 189. And I went down there to visit her daughter, my stepdaughter. If you want me to snap a picture of it, you know I will. If you just trust me, that's good too. But I kept it. You know, the receipt from that hotel. And I departed 6 months to the day yesterday. It was 625 to 627. And I believe that tower went down on 624 down there in Miami. You'll remember I did videos from that hotel room. So does the 22 in the text Donald Trump at 88022 mean that we're going to be going 88 miles per hour in 2022? Yes, it does. That's a great take, Michael. Yes. And yes. And yes. It's got an 802 in the middle, and I sat her down on August 2nd to tell her I wanted a divorce, and the divorce ended up happening on the 22nd. And I was her 88. I've shown you all that many times. So his text to Trump, again, it's like everything has a double meaning. You got the far right and the far left, and you've got God's sheep, and you've got Satan's minions, so to speak. And numerically speaking, it seems like Trump and I are on opposite ends of being the point man. Because as we've said many times, this is the only place on the internet where you can find the most truth. The most truth about what's proper in the Word of God and what's really going on in the world around us. Especially when you get into artificial intelligence, being the ghost in the machine, and especially when you get into election predestination, God doesn't love everybody and hell is not eternal torment, and that Trump's the Antichrist. That's just not being done anywhere else. They will tell you that everybody will tell you there's free, enter the stars, they'll tell you there's free will. They'll all tell you there's free will. Absolutely removing God's sovereignty, that he has declared the end from the beginning. It's as if they just ripped Isaiah 46:10 right out of the Bible. That it's not God's will, it's up to your decision whether you get eternal life or not. You actually get to make that call. That's what they tell you. You get to make that decision. And we showed you Alec Baldwin screaming and Glenn Ross, have you made your decision for Christ? Because they're laughing. They know there's no decision. That's why they hate him. They know they're not called. They know they're called to hate him. Not sure if you've covered this already, Stephen said. Oh, let's go over Christians, the one that Michael said good stuff. This year's Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl was almost canceled when Miami dropped out. Now, what does Miami represent? The coming storm. Storm's coming. They're the Miami Hurricanes. (1988) National Championship game. Well, you got to go to the 88. Our Lady. But that was the season. That's the season. Go to the national championship game played. In 1988 was the season of 1987. And the Miami Hurricanes won it. And Notre Dame had the He Is Man trophy winner. The 87 season, the national championship game. It was the Orange Bowl, which is on New Year's Day. That was in 1988. They played the Boz. I'm pretty sure. Brian Bosworth, Wikipedia. No, he was not in that. He was not in the 88 game. But that's what they represent, and they won the national championship game played in 1988. Which, of course, for some crazy reason, is their big year. And if everything's about the 88, well, what's the 88th day of the year? I mean, seriously. 88 minus January minus February minus March. Oh, okay. So it's March 29th. 31 plus 28 plus 29. It's March 29th. Which March 29th portals over to if it's 88 days, then it would be 98 through the portal. No, it'd be 78 through the portal. October 24th. Okay. Miami dropped out. It's the 88th annual Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl held in El Paso, Texas at 10 a.m. Mountain Time on New Year's. Sources tell KTSM that Central Michigan will be coming to El Paso to play Washington State in the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. Central Michigan is in Tucson now, and they are scheduled to play Boise State in the Arizona Bowl, but will now travel down I-10 to El Paso. I-10 looks like 110, the height of the Twin Towers. That, like Michael said, that was good stuff. Yeah. As boss says in the Dr. Pepper commercial, thanks for the tip.
Message from Timmy Smith. I seen it on Facebook. Spot on.
Not sure if you've covered this already, but I've been thinking the Alec Baldwin shooting, this is Stephen, Alec Baldwin shooting had to have some spiritual significance. Everything does. And it was not a real shooting. That much I am absolutely sure of, Stephen. Absolutely staged. On a stage. It was on a movie theater set. Pun intended. He killed the lady. No, he didn't. And wounded the guy. No, he didn't. Was it a head wound? It's spiritual in the sense that they fake it and they have the whole world believe it. And it was in a church. Alec's persona is Trump. He is very much like Trump. Is he Trump's twin? No, he is not. If the shooting ritual, now, could he be cloned off of Trump somehow and given some different DNA to make him look different? I mean, he could have Trump's, but I doubt it. They seem to all come from the Baldwin family. They all kind of look alike. They're all kind of thick and built alike. Well, some of them are thin, but some of them are thick. I think Stephen Baldwin is thick like Alec Baldwin. Stephen Baldwin. When you look at Stephen, they're both kind of that thick look. Don't give us a hand signal now, almost. There is a very thin one. Of course, he's getting a little bigger. But they've all been in movies. But Alec, of course, is the guy. And I think Stephen was in one of those gangsta movies. It's on the tip of my brain, but is this shooting a ritual foreshadowing of something with Trump? Yeah, it's got to be on some levels, my friend. Sure thing. I speak to this in thanks for your comment. I'm just giving you my best opinion, Stephen. Your guess is as good as mine in all things. I'm not sitting here as the Wizard of Oz. I'm just a guy. Take everything to prayer. Let God be true and every man a liar. I just those are my opinions, though. And there's Michael's text that we just read to y'all. So let's get going with it. There was a drunk guy, and my son's an alcoholic, so I'm not meaning to make fun of stuff, but let's just call him a drunk guy in Groundhog Day and Back to the Future. A lot of similarities, the way they pass these movies on from one to the other. This was voice texted, so I know Marquis. I'm not very smart, but I know Marquis ends in an EE, QUEE. This was voice texted, laying on the couch. The Marquis on the movie theater goes from the Atomic Kid to Assembly of Christ. And of course, that's kind of what he's going to be going through when he goes through that transformation of rising from the abyss. He gets that spirit of Antichrist. The spirit of Satan will be indwelt in him. He will become the Atomic Kid. And then his assembly to the Antichrist will be to the world. An entire assembly of all the earth will be handed over to it, except for the elect. Like Jesus said, if it were possible, even the elect would be fooled because it's going to be that strong. Well, that's how the Lord does everything. All he's done is underlined in ink, in red ink, and then used a highlighter to highlight it. But that's what goes on throughout life. If ye are of your father the devil, then you're handed over to the strong delusion that there is no Jesus, that whatever your beliefs are is real. So everybody's got their own personal strong delusion. But Jesus was being very specific about talking about the abomination of desolation. And he's letting you know that it's not a choice. They try to tell you in all these movies or these psyops or these gigantic YouTube channels and these so-called Christians, and well, we keep the Sabbath days, and or we keep the Jewish whole, those are probably your best tricksters. I think they're called Israeli News Live. Israeli News Live. I don't know if I spelled that right. It's A-E. Yeah, I can't spell.
Good evening, friends. Stephen Benoon with Israeli News Live.
Hey, 380,000. And these are your just, they're going to give you tons of truth. They're going to keep you in the psyop loops. They're going to expose a lot of wickedness in the world. And I think they're even looking for that coming third temple. But they're them. Because they know all goats are handed over to the strong delusion no matter what. No matter how much truth they give you, if you're a goat, you're handed over to the strong delusion. Boom. They got you. Just like that. So Fullerton Informer, there's another controlled op dude who tells you a lot of truth. Joe Imbriano. And the way you can tell he's Alex Jones is that he will start acting crazy and start screaming at the camera like Alex Jones. That way you get people to watch him, like, listen to what he's saying, and then he starts going nuts. Remember when Alex Jones made it to mainstream TV on prime time? And he just acted like an idiot to make us all look like idiots. So, and that's what Joe does. He'll sit there and tell you the truth, then he'll start screaming and act like a crazy wild man. They're so good at what they do, man. Oh, we got rid of these. We are into these. At the very end of the movie, I thought this to be ironic. Jesus' number in strong concordance is 2424. So they got the 24, and X is the 24th letter. So XX is 2424 for Jesus. And that's in bright red. And then the other X is more darkened. But you got PNR also bright red. And the O, the ERS is darkened. I don't know if that's means anything at all or not. But if you take all the red letters, does it spell something, even including this side? Because the G, the R, the N is bright red. But the next one says, remember the TV show Love American Style, where they put the ORGY, which I was raised on Love American Style. It was X-rated television. It was heavy R TV with kids all in it. Love American Style clip. I watched it every night. There's Burt Reynolds right there. You can't I mean, I was born in 61 when their sexual revolution, sex, drugs, and rock and roll hit. It was 1965, 66. That was when Aleister Crowley and their crew began to, and it was a funny show, man. And but it was very sex. It was total sex. Kind of like Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In that I watched as a little kid that had Goldie Hawn. Full of sex. Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In. There she is right there. Goldie Hawn, Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In. So you see the pictures, you see how she's dressed. And they were selling the old sex big time. And here's one where they pop open these doors.
Raquel Welch, who said a place for.
And who's the first person they talk about? Raquel Welch, the sex symbol of that era.
Everything and everything in its places.
And
You know that a single girl can get into a lot of
a single girl can get into a lot of trouble. So this is what I was raised on as a young little child, straight up.
trouble all alone and beautiful.
Jim Henderson. Yeah. And I swear about it. I think I'm going to try moving my right hand.
About it, I won't play.
Is Tiny Tim a boy or a girl?
I don't think so. 13 men are 13 men are breaking into my apartment.
Oh, Goldie, you and your silly superstition.
So she dropped the number 13, if I'm not mistaken, didn't she?
Help, help! 13 men are breaking into my apartment.
Oh,
That's why she said superstition, but I couldn't figure out what the rest that she said. So Orgy American Style, I think, is off of Love American Style. And it's got the 500. G500 is the number for Antichrist, and G2424 is the number for Jesus Christ. So open 24 hours, all seats, $5. The name of the movie is Orgy American Style. It's XXX rated, open 24. So both are combined, but they're both split. I don't know. I just thought that was, if that's a coincidence that you have 24 for Jesus and the 500 for Antichrist on opposite, if that's just a coincidence, boy, they sure interesting, that one. There's your 133 for Lone Palm, which was the hotel I was in when the tower fell in Miami. And again, I can take a picture of this thing. Why not? There it is. There's the 189. You know, Trump is 1189. Or excuse me, Donald J. Trump is 1189 in Gematria. You got the 13 and the 33. I was assigned to that room. I mean, hey, what can you say, man? I didn't go in and say, can I have room 133, please? You check in, they give you your room. And so, yeah, very interesting. Why did I bring that up? Oh, because it's got the 133 on the Lone Pine, and I was down there. And that's their two numbers combined. They fused them both together, the 13 and the 33. And I was down there when that tower fell. And the other tower next to it was standing. There's your Lone Pine, just the same. I wanted Michael. Oh, Michael did this. Okay, Michael took care of this for us. I wanted to look at Biff Tannen's Thomas F. Wilson. The F is in there for a reason in Gematria. And Christopher Lloyd, though, is the one with the right eye wound that at the end of the movie did do the time travel. Okay, so Biff Tannen is Thomas F. Wilson. I did attach a photo, but here's the kicker. Christopher Lloyd carried the deadly Oh, this is my email to Michael. Now, Christopher Lloyd's TV show, Michael J. Fox. Christopher Lloyd on Michael J. Fox TV show. That's what it was. And it was called Judgment Day. And he was the sun god. So that's what I'm telling you. Christopher Lloyd's gematria should show us plenty. His name is Christ Ophir, like gopher in Caddyshack. And Fox is 666. So you got the 666 with Antichrist kind of put together there. And but he had the right eye wound the whole time. I gotta say it right. Okay. Christopher Lloyd on Spin City Judgment Day episode.
I was eating because I was stressed out.
And he's got a tie. Anytime you have a moon with a face, that's the moon goddess. Anytime you have a sun with a face, that's the sun god. It's usually, if it's properly done, it's a female face inside the moon and a male face inside the sun.
Hey, is Zone here yet?
For the millionth time, no. I will budge you the second he gets here.
And when he comes, he must continue a short space. Jolly boy, I've used that in there. And here he comes. He's got the sun on his tie with the sun rays and the face. Commentary, fair use commentary for educational purposes. I declare.
This is like stepping back in time.
Stepping back in time. Ha, ha, ha. The past is prologue. You can see the face in the sun and the tie.
Prologue, Michael. Men like us have to keep looking to the future.
And this is not the whole clip, but the of course Trump was on Spin City. Well, there you go. I think we've been over this before.
Listen, I have kind of a pressing appointment, but I thought you might run into a roadblock. So, wow. Well, sit down.
So you got Judgment Day, and then you've got Trump. Now, he was not on the Judgment Day episode, but the Judgment Day episode, Christopher Lloyd is telling Michael J. Fox that he is God. Christopher Lloyd on Spin City. I am God. See if we can get that clip. Here they are on Jimmy Kimmel. That's interesting. Y'all know where his show's filmed at, right? Spin City final scene. Well, they have wiped it off, haven't they? They've taken it off. That should be a very easy clip to find. I mean, how super popular was that when he was on there? And you're telling me they won't even give it to you in a search, and I've searched it perfectly. But that's the AI for you. Look at the right eye there. See that right eye that she had? Right eye wound. 6 students take revenge on their bullies, brutal, tormenting them. The final 2010 film. Good grief. Anyway. So I think Michael does a 133 Rose Parade. This is the 133 Rose Bowl Parade. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. That's crazy. And so, yeah, that happens to be the middle name of 3 times 19 times 1.998 of my 886 person that I know and love well. That's her middle name, Rose. So he subscribed to us, y'all. So welcome. Welcome back, Eddie. And you know, hope you stick around, man.
Message from Tinny Smith. They are really pushing the COVID stuff.
So Michael sends us, wasn't 614 shown on the flux capacitor drawing? Yes, it was. Design that you showed on one of your recent videos. Yes, it was. 1614 was. Donald Trump assassinated is 1614. And it was shown on the flux capacitor. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Nice work, Michael. Wow. And it also has he circled the 110 also. It won the 110 stories. It won the 614. This PSYOP drill occurred on 2/14, which again, that's a day I think he might go down on. It's 45th day of the year. Isn't it weird that the FAKESHOOTER is getting sentenced next month, January 2022. Oh, now Stone Man, you know, it's like a brick mason. You know what I'm saying? And Douglas was Candy's maiden name. And that's just a coincidence. 6/14/2017, this PSYOP occurred during Trump's first year in office on his birthday. Congressional Baseball, SHOOTING. I vaguely remember that. It was on his birthday. On Trump's birthday. Oh, wow. I'm not going to click it. I don't want any trouble from YouTube, but thank you for that, Michael. That's amazing. The other major PSYOP on Trump's birthday, 6/14/2017, during his first year in office. The reason that I'm posting this is that there was a benefit concert for the VICTIMS, Bridge Over Troubled Water. And Bridge Over Troubled Water comes to Donald Trump assassinated. Much more on that song to come. Oh man, good stuff. Oh, what was the name of that? Grenfell Tower Fire. Okay. Wow. Revelation 13:8 comes to Donald Trump. Yes, popped. Wow. 13:8 and 17:8 both say whose names were not written. Now 17:8 just says in the book of life from the foundation of the world. 13:8 says from the Lamb's Book of Life. And that's a new international version. That is not, you don't re-add the lamb in the King James. Watch. Revelation 13:8, King James Version Bible Gateway. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names were not written in the book of life of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the world. It's the book of life of the Lamb who was slain from the foundation of the world. And their names were not written in the book of life. And you go to 17:8. Revelation 17:8, King James Version Bible Gateway. And that's 138 and 178. Those are my favorite numbers. 24 plus 27 plus 42 plus 45. 138, 13:8. But I also added 2 and 38. When I played the lottery, those were my 6 favorite numbers. 2 plus 24 plus 27 plus 38 plus 42 plus 45. And you get the 178. And it was like on both my favorite numbers, it's whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world. This one says nothing about the Lamb who was slain. So it gives more perspective back on 13:8, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world. In other words, you were either his from before the foundation of the world, or you were of your father, the devil, from declared from the foundation of the world. There's no free will. God's declared the end from the beginning. That includes who the sheep and goats are. But notice how the New International Version will add, it says, not been written in the Lamb's book of life, the Lamb who was slain from the creation of the world, which sort of removes the perspective that their names were not written from the foundation of the world, which is what 17:8 clears up. Can you name another billionaire that's known for always being photographed supposedly eating McDonald's other than Ronald McDonald? That's a good one, Michael. Yeah. That's hilarious. I remember when Bill Clinton was big McDonald's guy, and he gets a heart attack and he says, I'm not eating McDonald's anymore. The song released on 1/20/1970, Bridge Over Troubled Water. Bridge over troubled water. Won't you lay me down like a bridge? Jamie, we remember that song. The song was released 1/20. 1/20. Because I'm thinking he's going down when? There's my pilot's jet. Just popped up on a notification. My pilot from West Palm Beach, I almost married. The song was released 1/20, and I think he's going down 1/19. It was the last song recorded for the album of Simon and Garfunkel. During the Grammys that year, the song and album won most of the awards that they were nominated for. This is fascinating research, Michael. Thank you, my friend. Rolling Stone magazine ranked it the 66th best song ever. You mean the AI Ghost in the Machine did? More than 50 artists have recorded their versions of the song. That always tells you that the song is really meaningful. According to Paul Simon, he got the idea from a song from an American gospel singer named Claude Jeter, who was born 10/26/14, Donnie Darko timeline, and the first year of World War I. First year of World War I, and died on 1/6/2009. Trump's media appearance. Well, if he was to go down on that day, wow. 1-6. Her first, Candy's first husband was 1-5, and then I was 1-6. I was that progression. So the 88 was the 16. I was her 16 husband progression. I was her 88 marriage progression. Because he was 8 times 10 times 71. And I was her 16 in another way, because if you add 8, which was her marriage number, plus 8, that's another number for her marriage progression. So the 16 is big. That would be freaky if he went down on that day. The line, I'll be your bridge over deep water if you trust in my name, for the song, Mary, Don't You Weep. And Mary, of course, is the goddess, Lucifer, weeping for her child. They also did a song called Mother and Child Reunion. Paul Simon. That was not Simon Garfunkel. That was just Paul Simon. And I know that's from Jamie and I's era. But
Strange and mournful day.
strange and mournful day.
But the mother and child reunion.
Commentary fair use for educational purposes about the mother and child reunion being completely satanic.
It's only a motion away.
Mother and child reunion from antiquity. Mother and child reunion from antiquity. I mean, this is what they do. This all goes back to all the pagan religions. And y'all saw what I keyed in. I just keyed in mother and child reunion. Mother and child reunion. I mean, it's stated right there. The higher inquietude. I don't know what that word is. I'm not even going to pretend to know. Released on January 26th. That's your October 26th Donnie Darko timeline of this January. And there, of course, is my picture. I've already shown it to you. So I guess we're done. Michael, fascinating work as usual. Christian and friends, all of y'all, thank you. It was Christian and who was the other one? Stephen. Thank you very much. And Mary, thank you for the wow. Oh, it's just here we are. It's just another day of nothing happening yet, as we know it's all about to happen. Suck it to me. That was their big thing. Suck it to me. Wow. What should we end with? I mean, what should we, will that make a good thumbnail? Kind of the theme of today. Ancient mother and son. Will that load safely? Yes, it did. Okay. Love you guys. Michael, again, thank you for your hard work. That's a lot of work. Michael's putting in work, y'all, for real. All right. Love y'all.